Hi everybody, Sherry here, and welcome back to another episode of What is in That Tote. We are on episode 9, and if you guys remember, I pulled out this fluorescent pink orange. On the camera it looked orange, but it's actually more pink than it is orange. And it was like a fleece. I'll put up some images here.
This is gonna be weird.
It's like a fleece.
It's fluorescent. I don't know. It may not
long
be showing
sleeve,
up. Maybe showing
or shirt. And I wasn't sure what to do with it. We had so many people commenting and helping, so I was so happy. So when I went to run with some of the ideas, though, they didn't work out. So let me explain. I love the idea of the cat bed. That's what I actually ended up deciding to do. Even though there were more votes for the vest. But the thing is with the vest, I don't usually wear a vest. I don't know anybody that, I could give it to if I made it. And it's not really the hunting orange color. It's a sort of a pink orange. So I don't know anybody who hunts either. Even though I am there are a lot of people in the area who do hunt. I just don't know anybody personally that does. So I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't have any little pets to make like a pet jacket with it. And if I made a plushie, I still don't have grandkids. I don't even have little cousins and stuff. I don't know who I would give it to. So, and the cat bed I wanted to do. So I set my mind, I was like, I'm doing a cat bed. So I went to my sewing room, and the problem was immediately, the rules are, I can only use what's in my sewing room. Well, guess what wasn't in there? Fiber fill. I had nothing to stuff it with if I made one. So then I was like, what do I do now? Because that is what was on my mind. Like, I had prepared myself. So now I was running short on time. I had to do something quick. So let me show you what I did. I'm hoping the color shows up better this time. You see it's more of a pink. At least on my camera here, it's looking more of a pink than the orange. And it is. Okay, now the colors reminded me of sort of the 70s when the neon signs came out. And, they had the whole Fonzarella thing and all the shows and everything. It reminded me of that, sort of retro. So here's what I did. See how it's more pink? I hope it's showing that way. More pink than orange. And so I had this green that had that same shade of pink in it. So I made, let me go back here, this. And what I did, something different I've never done, is I split clear up here under the sleeve to widen it. And if you want to widen a garment or an upcycled piece, you can do this. Let's say you've got one in your store. I always ask the customer before I do it if they're okay with it. But if they want me to size it up 2 to 4 inches, this is where I will do it at. Usually it's just from here though. I will widen it, but you can go up a long ways if you want to. I think it's cute. So, what do you think? It's super soft too, and it did allow me to retain the warmth of it, because if I had I thought about the denim. A lot of people said with denim, and I was thinking the same thing at the beginning, but then I thought, when denim touches you, if you don't have some kind of shirt underneath, denim is cold to the skin. And I thought I would love to just retain the warmth. So if you didn't want to wear an undershirt, and this one may be available in my store. I can't decide. It's so snuggly. Do I give it up? I can't keep them all, you guys, okay? It's just like, when you're upcycling, you're like, oh, this one's cute, but I can't keep them all. And otherwise, it actually frustrates me. If I have too many clothes in my closet, I don't like it. I like life simpler. So if this one goes in, I'll probably have to pull something out. I'm trying to make myself live a more simple life because I'm happier that way. So I'm not going to make a tutorial on this, by the way, because this is basically the same principle as what I did with that jacket with the red heart. I cut it off. I cut it off flat. I did the angle. Instead of starting here, I started here. So it's basically the same principle. So you can just follow that tutorial to actually make this. So Friday's tutorial will be something completely different. A lot of you guys requested another funny story. So I'm going to add a little cute funny story in here from the past. And the one that came to my mind was we lived on a ranch, and it was fairly large, and it was in Colorado, in the more of the plains, not the mountainous area, and with the rolling hills and very sandy soil. And I remember one particular year my mom decided to plant a watermelon patch a little ways away from the house, but near a windmill. And if you don't, a windmill that pumps water into a tank, And so that way you could have a source of water for it, if you have to bucket it. Because the biggest problem there was the water table was falling because corporations moved in and they were pumping all the groundwater out of there's like a big basin underneath that area. And so the water level just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. So water was always, a big issue when you had a garden, thinking about how you could water it and get water to it. So we had this particularly dry season. The melons had come along quite well. She planted some watermelons out around where this was at and where the stalk couldn't get into it. And it was so funny. The melons were getting up there, but then we got to a dry period. So she sent two of my brothers out there with a bucket and said, make sure you give each watermelon water. So they were out there quite a while, and they come back, and so she went out to see how good a job they did, and she met watermelon plant. They watered every watermelon that was at the end of the vine. On each little watermelon, there was a little puddle of water where they had watered it. I just laughed. I thought that was so funny. You definitely, when you send kids to do a job, and sometimes us adults, you want to have somebody to check up and make sure it was done properly. I feel like, I don't know how many times I tell my kids, there was no one there to supervise me, so I'm really not at fault. And so, that story came to mind today when I was thinking about, man, I just need somebody to tell me how to do these things. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that fun little story, and I wanted to thank you guys too for liking, sharing, and subscribing, and also to tell you about the Discord link. In my older videos, I found out Discord links expire, so you'll have to go to the latest video I put up for the latest link. I think they do that as a safety measure to keep like the programs that crawl these. What they do, they create programs that literally crawl websites looking for things. And, so it's just a safety measure on their part, I think. So if you try to get into Discord and you can't, go to the very latest video I upload and try that link. So I hope that helps. I wanted to point out something that I thought about this style of garment. If you have kids that are outgrowing their clothing, you could literally up it a couple sizes by doing this simple technique. So you could actually take, one thing is almost, I don't want to say it's tragic, but a lot of children, they get attached to certain clothing pieces. I think us adults do too. This is a way to give yourself a few more inches in the sides, even in the length of it. So you can literally size up another year or two, that if they've got a favorite piece, that they can continue to wear that piece. So I just thought I'd throw that in there for anybody that is, has younger kids, or maybe put on a few pounds, ate too much pie like I did, or do. I don't say that's a past thing, but it's an easy way to add a couple inches. Let's say you're at a garage sale and you find a piece, but it's just a size too small for me. Well, you can add a couple sizes in the sides of it. This could be denim on the side, it could be all kinds of different colors. You could even make a dress this way. You could cut it up higher and do a more tiered out, but then angle it first. So it's a great way to turn something that you normally couldn't wear in your closet, or that you found that you liked. It's a great way to turn it into something that you absolutely love to wear. Well, should we pull out another thing? I'm almost afraid to. This one hurt my brain. It really, really hurt my brain. I was like, what am I going to do? And it's the wrong season and everything for it. But we made it work out. It's absolutely fun, and it's still chilly in lots of areas right now in the spring. So let's get on to the next one. Oh, I'm kind of nervous about this. If you're new here, what this challenge is that someone donated 7 totes of clothing to me that would have otherwise ended up in the landfill. And I had my son go around and pick one thing out of each tote and to put just a little bit, otherwise it'd be too heavy for me to pick up. And what I do is I don't know what's in here and I pull it out, and the game is I can use anything in my studio to make an upcycled piece. It doesn't have to be clothing. I try to do clothing, but it just has to be turned into something I can use or I can sell or I could give to somebody who could use it. Because I don't see the point in making an item if I don't think it'll sell in my store, or if I can't use it, or because then it's just kind of what I started with, right? so okay. Without further ado, let's see what our next piece is going to be. Okay, here it is. Now, if it's too old, I will pass it on. I will pass it on as a grease rag. But let's see, here's what it is. It's knit. It's got a neat stripe like a burgundy and a pink. So let's take a closer look at it and see what kind of condition it is. Okay, it is a size small. 60% cotton, 40% polyester, made in Guatemala, fashion bug. A size small, I'm going to have trouble selling. It's a rib knit. Cute little pink buttons though. Appears to be in fairly good condition. Like, the biggest place that I usually check is in the armpits of it, because you don't want to sell something with yucky armpits. Now look at it closer, but it seems to be okay. It seems to be in fairly good condition. It's cute. I could do a small. Like, it's really kind of cute. I could do an all knit. Knit is very hard to work with, and I have troubles working with knit. So this is going to be a challenge of itself, just because it is knit. So let's talk about it a little bit. There are two types of knits I struggle working with. One is a really, really lightweight knit, like the really thin knit, because it stretches so easy. It usually has a spandex mix in it, and it stretches really easy. And then the second one is what this one is, which is the rib knit, because it also just stretches so easy. If you go to work with knits and it's your first time, I would not pick something rib knit. You want something that's more cotton based, and because like this one, I mean, it's not going to have the stretch like that. It's not going to have the stretch that this one's going to have. I mean, watch. I can just go. So in your machine, when the bottom foot is pushing along, it's going to push the bottom faster than the top, which is why you need a walking foot, I found out. So I'm literally on my second walking foot that doesn't work for my machine. I don't know if I'm just having bad luck or whatever. Maybe I'll get a walking foot in time to work with this. If not, it's going to be a real challenge just to make something that looks good. I might do as minimal, I'm going to turn my camera down a little bit so you can see more of it. Minimal, expose myself to it as minimal as possible by cutting it off. That's probably the only way that I can work with this without a walking foot. So that may really limit me. I do think that pink would look cute with denim, because I like pink and denim, so I might just do a pink and denim mix top of some kind. So if you have any ideas, or you've worked with rib knit, let me know what you think you would do with it. But I can't think of any other ideas. I don't have any small children to sew for. Like, I can't really make anything for a child that I could sell. Otherwise it might make like some cute little kid shorts, being, when I had little kids, like that, I could take the fabric out of it if I want to, turn to something else. But the sleeves could be used on it. I don't know. Really, it would make good hair ties. I mean, it would do that, but I don't know. Not like I would use that. Oh my gosh, I love my short hair. It is so freeing. I I don't even have to fuss hardly. So I'm not giving it up yet. So before I go, I wanted to show you what I did to my hat. Now remember, it was too big for me. You know, it was too big for me, and I think the pattern, it would be like for an XL, because I wear a size small and it was way too big for me. So I decided I'd pick the side that I like the most, which of course for me is the denim. Plus the red is softer, so I was like, I'd rather have that near my skin. And then I sewed a bunch of cute little patches, because I put elastic in it for a headband, and it reminded me, it changed the design. Instead of, you know, being this style, it changed to almost a different style of hat. It reminded me of the one Strawberry Shortcake wore that was really poofy. So I put strawberries on it, and it's so fun. It fits me. Like, it's so fun now. It's silly. I think that's why I like it. It's got kind of a silly look to it. I'm like, this is going to be fun to wear. So, and I did little buttons on it. Even put one on the set on the top. So that's how that ended up, and it was a lot of fun to do. So thank you guys so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. And don't forget this Discord link if you want to go there. People are uploading things they're making. If they need help finding something or ideas, they're posting there as well. So feel free to come over and join the Happy Sewing Club over there, and the link will be in the description below. And until next time, happy sewing.